supersonic boost transformed and defeated Metal Sonic at maximum power in Sonic 4, the movie. This film begins right after the ending of Sonic 3, with the final battle between Team Sonic and Team Robotnik, after Eggman and Shadow redeemed themselves and gave their lives to save Earth. What truly happened after the explosion of the Space Colony Ark, which should have killed them both, was that Shadow used the last bit of strength he had left. With it, he once again used his chaos power to transport both himself and Eggman to a place where the explosion could not reach them. They crashed onto the moon, where Shadow shook off the dust, picked up his power inhibitor rings, and recovered all his strength. He then gave some of his power to Robotnik so he wouldn't suffocate. Shadow told Eggman, who was sitting on the ground staring at Earth, "If you want, you can stay here watching it from afar, but I'm leaving. If you want to go, it's now or never." Accepting this, Shadow took Dr. Webera by the hand, and together they returned to planet Earth. The Earth lived through a span of 3 months of pure peace. There were no major villains threatening the planet's integrity, and the small and medium criminals were countered by Team Sonic, who had now become public heroes. Shadow, meanwhile, had dedicated his life to redemption, traveling alone on his motorcycle from place to place, fighting all kinds of crime without belonging to any group or working for the government. In contrast, Dr. Webera was planning his next strike. Having collected Sonic's DNA from his final battle in Sonic 3, as well as from various scenes where he had fought crime in the city, Eggman used that genetic information to create his lethal weapon. A group of 30 robots that were clones of Sonic. Among them was one principal, far more powerful, who would command the others under Robotnik's orders. This was the one known as Metal Sonic. Eggman appeared before Metal Sonic and said, "You are my creation, and your only mission is to destroy Sonic the Hedgehog. The task will not be easy, for possessing the DNA from which I created you, he has the same abilities as you." But Metal Sonic was not born as an ordinary robot. He developed his own personality, and this mission to defeat Sonic became personal. To him, Sonic was an imposter, a copy of himself when in reality it was the opposite. Seeing Metal Sonic's determination, Eggman told him, "With your current power, you cannot defeat him, for you have not yet reached your maximum potential. Therefore, your first mission will be to achieve that level." The next day, Team Sonic received a direct call from the government, entrusting them with a new mission. A concentration of chaos almost of the same magnitude as the one sensed in Shadow had been detected inside New York State Park. Sonic, already bored and eager for a new worthy villain to unleash all his electricity against, said he would go immediately to check the place and that it would be a piece of cake. Knuckles and Tails, however, told him not to underestimate the enemy. They insisted that the entire Team Sonic would go, reminding him of what had happened with that other hedgehog, just like him, Shadow. Thus, they decided, for this mission, all 4 would go together. Sonic asked, "How come 4? Team Sonic is only 3 of us, and I repeat, this will be a piece of cake." With that, he dashed like a soul on fire straight to New York State Park. No sooner had he arrived than Metal Sonic, who had come there as bait to lure him, attacked from behind with his powerful Chaos Blaster. If not for Sonic's hyperspeed, he would already have been dancing with Michael Jackson. Instead, in a split second, Sonic appeared behind him and sent him flying with a mighty strike. Seeing this, Sonic thought, "Another one trying to copy me first, Shadow, and now this." He then said, "Not bad cosplay, but you're missing a few details, like my power." At that very moment, Metal Sonic summoned 30 clones under his command. All of them attacked Sonic in an ambush, a strike nearly impossible to evade. At the most difficult moment, a new hedgehog ally arrived to save Sonic. With her powerful weapon, a hammer, she destroyed the 30 Metal Sonic clones, leaving only the original standing. This new ally was Amy Rose. She introduced herself to Sonic, telling him her name and that she had come to support him. Upon seeing Amy Rose's arrival, Metal Sonic said, "Nice superhero entrance, but you're too late. I've already obtained what I came for." He then ignited his thrusters and flew away. Sonic, left with Amy Rose, asked her, "Where do you come from? Are you from my planet?" But before Amy could answer, Sonic collapsed unconscious, for Metal Sonic had stolen a large part of his power, and that was precisely his mission in this encounter. Sonic awoke, weakened, with Amy Rose standing worried in front of him. After Sonic asked what had happened, Amy explained everything. Metal Sonic, with one of his special abilities, had drained a large portion of his chaos energy until he collapsed. Blushing as he looked into her eyes while she spoke, Sonic said, "Thank you very much for saving me." He then introduced her to Knuckles and Tails. "Guys, this is Amy Rose." Knuckles replied, "Of course we know her, kid. We were the ones who sent her to save your skin. If you had a little more patience, this wouldn't have happened." It turned out that Knuckles and Tails had discovered Amy spying on them, or rather spying on Sonic, during an afternoon of speed training. After they followed her, she had no choice but to reveal her identity. Once they realized she had no bad intentions, but quite the opposite, they accepted her. And after being introduced to Sonic, Amy Rose began to officially become part of the team. Amy Rose continued the conversation and then proceeded to tell Sonic what she had previously told Knuckles and Tails. She explained that an evil man calling himself Dr. Ivo Robotnik had come to their planet Mobius with 10 robotic clones that looked exactly like Sonic. They began stealing the power of every hedgehog they found. My family was captured in that attack, and thanks to my father, I was the only one who managed to escape. But what left me worried and shocked was that before escaping, I heard that man say, "With this power, it will be more than enough to activate the weapon that will destroy Sonic." At that moment, I was overcome with a strange peace, because I thought you had died years ago at the hands of the Echidnas, but thank heaven, I see you are alive. If I did not act, it would become reality, for this Dr. Robotnik has made it his mission to destroy you. That is why I came to you, because I feel you are the only one capable of defeating Metal Sonic, and at the same time saving my people from Robotnik's grasp. Sonic, deeply moved, told Amy Rose to count on him. That bastard Dr. Wabera will pay. Immediately, a live news report appeared, showing Metal Sonic devastating the entire city, now at maximum power after absorbing the energy he had stolen from Sonic. He now called himself Metal Sonic Max. Sonic wanted to rush into battle, but he was still weak. Knuckles and Tails went with Amy Rose instead. Yet as soon as they arrived, within seconds they were humiliatingly defeated by Metal Sonic. The first to fall was Knuckles, who was struck by a powerful chaos beam expelled directly from Metal Sonic Max's chest. The blast hurled him into Tails, who collapsed instantly from the impact. Only Amy Rose remained standing, wielding her Pico Pico hammer. Metal Sonic turned toward her, generating a massive explosion that even cut off the live broadcast. Seeing this, Sonic became enraged, unleashing all his power to the maximum. He dashed forward at full speed, and while running, opened a ring portal. In just 1 second, he arrived at the scene, where he found all his friends lying unconscious on the ground. Then the epic moment happened. Sonic's fury began to generate an energy never before seen in his body. The electricity radiating from him carried the same power as when he transforms into Super Sonic, but in lesser capacity and with a light blue color. The previous influence of the emeralds had mutated his DNA, making him capable of accessing a new state. Now, Sonic had transformed into Super Sonic Boss.
Hey you! Don't forget subscribe!
Please subscribe to our channel!
Subscribe now!
Sonic Boss and Metal Sonic Max began a high-speed battle, both racing across the battlefield. Sonic charged his spin attack in his new state, and, with a single strike, sent Metal Sonic flying. But Metal Sonic quickly recovered and surprised Sonic from behind with a light yet precise attack, stealing a large amount of his power, enough to strip him of his transformation. Now Metal Sonic Max had become even stronger. He proceeded to overload his body with energy to unleash a final attack on Sonic. Faced with this, our hero had no choice but to flee. Sonic ran like a soul on fire, opening ring portals across the city and sprinting as fast as he could, aiming to buy time to recover energy and regain access to his new transformation. In a moment full of adrenaline, when Metal Sonic caught up to him and grabbed him by the neck, Sonic regained his strength and once again reached his transformation. Now he would fight a man-to-man battle against Metal Sonic. where the blows fell more often than the chatter in Chinese movies. Metal Sonic concentrated all his energy in the core of his chest to unleash a final attack, but Sonic, with his hyper speed, evaded it and countered with a precise strike to the face, leaving him stunned. Sonic then charged his spin attack at maximum power to destabilize him even further. Finally, he gathered all his chaos energy into one fist and hurled Metal Sonic through a chaos ring portal, sending him to a place from which he could not escape. But Metal Sonic was not one to give up easily. Holding onto the edge, he refused to be transported through the chaos ring. He came back, determined to continue the battle. At that moment, Sonic, resolved to end all the chaos, raised his power to 200%. With the most powerful spin attack he had ever created in his life, he struck Metal Sonic and sent him flying, transporting him to a distant and unknown planet. With his entire operating system destroyed by this massive impact, Sonic saved planet Earth and his friends who, though left unconscious, managed to survive. Remember, this video is nothing more than a theory created by me with much love and with the sole purpose of entertaining you. If you want more videos like this, just ask for them in the comments, and soon I'll be bringing them to you.